Welcome back, everyone. If you're a focused learner looking to optimize how you process the world, well, you're in exactly the right place. Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever tried to go to sleep, but instead of just, drifting off, it feels like your brain is suddenly hosting this loud, chaotic party? Today's explainer is a total adventure into decoding our busy minds. We're going to figure out exactly why we overthink and, most importantly, how to finally grab hold of that mental remote control.
It's a highly relatable scenario, isn't it? I mean, you're lying there in the dark, you're absolutely exhausted, and suddenly there's this buzzing in your head. It's like a mosquito that just won't quit. Your brain starts whispering, hey, what's going to happen at school or work tomorrow? Or, why did my friend look at me like that? Or, man, why did I make that silly mistake today? And before you even realize it, your mind has turned into this little thought factory that literally never clocks out.
Section 1. The paralysis of overthinking. Imagine you're walking to school or heading into the office, but instead of just packing your books or your laptop, you stop along the way to pick up these heavy stones from the road, and you're just stuffing them one by one into your backpack. I mean, how incredibly heavy is that bag gonna get? Well, overthinking is exactly like that. It's literally the act of hoarding useless, heavy worries and just dragging them with you everywhere you go. To really anchor this concept, let's bridge ancient Indian mythology with modern anime. On the one hand, we've got King Dhritarashtra from the epic Mahabharata. This guy overthought every single thing regarding his children and his kingdom. He was just constantly plagued by these what-if scenarios. What if someone steals the kingdom? He thought so much that he became completely blinded by worry. On the flip side, we have Deku from My Hero Academia. Early on in his story, he'd overanalyze every single tiny detail of a situation, and because of that, he'd just freeze up like a statue. And honestly, that is the real danger here. When we overthink, we just become paralyzed. We become completely unable to take meaningful action.
Moving on to Section 2, the superpower twist. Now here's the thing, a racing mind isn't actually a flaw. Have you ever stopped to consider that Spider-Man's famous Spidey sense is essentially just incredibly fast thinking? It's literally his brain rapidly processing danger before it even happens. And think about it, some of the most brilliant individuals in human history, people like Albert Einstein and Mahatma Gandhi, they were known to be incredibly deep overthinkers. So this actually proves something pretty incredible. Having a mind that thinks rapidly is for sure a superpower.
So, the crucial point is this. The problem isn't the act of thinking itself. The problem is direction. Think of your highly active mind kind of like a high-speed sports car, right? If you drive that car straight down the track, you're going to win the race. But if you just sit there spinning the steering wheel in circles, you're just going to burn all your petrol, make a whole lot of smoke, and get absolutely nowhere. And that is exactly what our undirected minds are doing. They're just spinning in these stressful, endless circles.
Section 3, mentors for a clear mind.
Here is our strategic roadmap. We're going to explore 3 distinct techniques to reclaim that control: Buddha's muddy pond, MS Dhoni's rule, and the 5 sense grounding. Let's start with the Buddha story of the muddy pond. So, once a student of the Buddha was feeling thirsty, so they went to a nearby pond. But a heavy bullock cart had just crossed through it, churning up all this mud and making the water completely dirty. The student complained, "The water is filthy!" But the Buddha, he simply instructed, "Wait a little while." And sure enough, after a short time, the mud naturally settled right down to the bottom and the water became perfectly clear again. The lesson here is absolutely profound. When your mind is full of muddy, chaotic thoughts, do not fight them. Fighting just stirs up the dirt. Instead, simply sit quietly, and that mental mud will naturally settle all on its own. Now, let's talk about the mental secret of the legendary Indian cricket captain, MS Dhoni. I mean, imagine standing in the middle of a massive stadium with 50,000 fans just screaming at you. The pressure is literally astronomical. Does he stand there thinking, "Oh man, what if we lose the match? What's the media gonna say?" No way. He silences all of that pressure by focusing entirely on just one thing, the single upcoming ball. That's his golden rule. He completely ignores past mistakes, he ignores future consequences, and he channels all of that rapid-fire mental superpower solely into the present action.
For our third technique, I actually want to drastically slow down the pacing for a second. We're going to do a 5 sense grounding exercise together, right now, to break any of that mental time travel you might be doing. Okay, look around your room and find 5 things you can see. Got them? Good. Now find 4 things you can physically touch. Next, I want you to listen really closely and identify 3 things you can hear right now. Okay, now find 2 things you can smell. And finally, 1 thing you can taste. Boom. Just like that, by engaging your physical senses, you've instantly pulled your brain away from all those hypothetical worries and anchored it firmly right back into the now.
Section 4. Mastering your mental remote.
This next concept stems from the brilliant book, The Power of Now. Personally, I like to call it the pencil box rule. You really need to start thinking of your brain exactly like a pencil box. When you need to draw a picture or solve a tricky math problem or, plan out your day, you take the pencil out. You use it. But when the drawing is finished, what do? You actively put the pencil back in the box. You absolutely must treat your brain as a tool that you control and use, rather than letting your brain use you. And this brilliantly illustrates our ultimate goal here. If you're a fan of Dragon Ball, you'll definitely recognize Goku's Ultra Instinct. It's the state of absolute mastery where Goku isn't actively overthinking or overanalyzing his next move. He's simply flowing. He completely trusts his years of practice and his raw instincts. When you finally learn to put that pencil away and stop overanalyzing every single tiny detail of your life, you start to act effortlessly. You essentially unlock your very own version of Ultra Instinct.
So, the very next time your thought factory starts running overtime and spinning in those endless circles, I want you to just stop, take a really deep breath, and put the pencil back in the box. I'm going to leave you with this provocative thought. Right now, in this moment, is your brain a friend showing you the way, or has it become a mischievous child constantly breaking your peace? Let me know in the comments how you personally clear your mental mud. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Definitely share this with an overthinking friend, and until next time, keep breathing and stop overthinking.